Welcome to the Living Bold series. Did you know that our emotions can impact our lives in so many areas? They can impact how we live our lives financially, they can impact our spirituality, they can even impact the level of our emotional well being. And if we're not careful, it can cause us to live beneath and bland in any of those areas. So go with me on this journey as I share with you a story, excuse me, about a woman who, in the hustle and bustle of everyday living, she walked a familiar path to the local coffee shop. It was a place that had quenched the caffeine cravings of many, but it failed to satisfy the deeper longings that were within her soul. Each sip carried the weight of unfulfilled dreams and fractured relationships, leaving her in the midst of the vibrant variety of life around her, yet feeling disconnected. Now, little did she know that this ordinary day would mark the beginning of an extraordinary journey, a journey from living beneath to a bold encounter that would reshape the very core of her existence. Now, as she approached the coffee shop, she encountered an unexpected sight. There was a stranger engrossed in a book, seated by the window. Now, in a world that was filled with cultural diversity, her cautious greeting betrayed the weariness of one accustomed to living beneath the expectations of the day. She said, "Excuse me, why are you a stranger sitting here?" His response, however, it ignited a spark of hope, speaking of a different kind of brew that could lift her from the life she knew oh too well. Now, as the conversation continued to unfold, the stranger he began to delve into the deeper spiritual dimensions of this metaphorical brew. The woman sensing a transforming possibility, she questioned with a hint of boldness, "How can you offer me something so different? Where can I get this kind of satisfaction?" The stranger smiled, unraveling the intricacies of true contentment, sparking a flicker of boldness within her. He began to reveal an understanding of her past that surpassed mere human knowledge. He touched on the brokenness in her life, the shattered relationships that had kept her living beneath her true potential. Her initial skepticism, it began to crumble, but it was replaced by a recognition that this encounter could lift her from the shadows that she lived in for so too long. Now, perceiving the stranger as a guide, the woman boldly questioned the conventional norms of success and happiness, seeking a deeper understanding. In response, he spoke of a time when fulfillment would transcend material pursuits, challenging the common confines that had kept her living beneath her true potential. Now, in a pivotal moment, the stranger revealed his identity as a mentor, the liberator from the shackles of a life living beneath one's true calling. Now, overwhelmed with joy and newfound boldness, the woman, she left her daily routine behind, symbolizing a fearless departure from the familiar and a courageous step toward the promise of something greater. She rushed back to her community, her once burdened spirit now emboldened with eager joy to share the news of the person at the shop who could transform lives. Now, in the community, they became captivated by her bold testimony, and they began to gather at the coffee shop. And as they encountered the stranger for themselves, many experienced a shift in perspective. Now, this metaphorical brew he offered became a source of boldness, breaking the chains that had kept them living beneath their potential and fostering a newfound courage to embrace their true calling. Now, the story of this woman at the coffee shop, it sums up a journey from living beneath the common expectations to a bold, transformative encounter with a mentor, an inspiring truth of seeking liberation, confronting societal norms, and finding the courage to rise above and live boldly in the contents of our new modern culture. Now, let's begin to take a moment and look at some of the lessons that we can learn from this woman experience at the coffee shop. Now, we know that it's really important or it's very helpful that we begin to recognize the thirst when it comes to our emotions. It's not uncommon, think it not strange that we have a desire to feel needed. We have a desire to feel loved. We have a desire to be accepted, to feel valued, to be respected, and so many more. So it's really important that we recognize that need. And as we begin to recognize it, it helps us to address this thirst that is so crucial to our first step towards transformation. Now, the second lesson could be is that seeking fulfillment in relationships. You often hear me say that community is important. Who we spend our time with, who's in our circle, it is so important because when we're in relationships that are toxic or relationships that are one-sided, those type of relationships, it can leave us feeling unsatisfied and broken, and that will definitely heighten the danger of living life beneath and living life bland. So, for true satisfaction, when it comes to that, we want to look from within and we want to look through first spiritual fulfillment. And as we look from a spiritual fulfillment, it can help lead us and guide us into developing healthy relationships. Now, as we look at the third lesson that we can learn from this woman's encounter at the coffee shop. And the third lesson is the boldness in questioning and seeking truth. As you know, she asked a variety of questions to the stranger. And as we do that, it can be an example for us that as it can also encourage us to take bold steps. And when we do that in challenging the conventional ideas of success and of happiness. And it was through her line of questioning about the different kind of brew would symbolize, questioning of societal expectation and also a search for fulfillment beyond material pursuits, which led to a more authentic and meaningful life for her. The second point would be embracing vulnerability and just true, authentic connections. It was through her willingness to again engage in a genuine conversation with the stranger. And that can reflect the power of vulnerability in the quest for truth. It was through her interconnecting with her environment for the people that were in the coffee shop and helped her to develop a meaningful relationship. And when that happens, it can create a genuine exchange of ideas that can lead to valuable insights, and it can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And the third point was again embracing change in the pursuit of her personal growth. It was through her decision to leave behind her daily routine, which symbolizes the need to change or need to embrace change and begin to pursue a personal growth. And it was through seeking truth that often requires us to step out of our comfort zones. It causes us to break away from familiar patterns and exploring new possibilities. Coming out of her comfort zone could have been asking him questions, just having a conversation with individual. And you often hear it said that if you want to do something or have something that you never had, oftentimes we have to do something that we've never done. So in order for us to break out of our comfort zone, it's important to us to be willing to be open to do some things that we've never done so that we can get something that we never had. Now, I hope this story of this woman's experience at the coffee shop has caused you to begin to reflect and think about your own life. Think about how your emotions may have been controlling different areas of your life and how it has begun to impact the quality of your life. And just as this woman, her encounter with the mentor, it caused her life to be transformed and have more meaning. The same thing can happen in your life. So if you're willing and you desire to have a deeper conversation, please feel free to reach out to me. All of my contact information is listed below. I look forward to having a conversation. I look forward to supporting you and walking on a journey with you from living bland or beneath when it comes to your emotions and begin to live in the life that you desire and that you deserve. Thanks again for watching.